There are so many people who appreciate and value the Jamaican culture. And although we have a lot of them who are feeling this way about it, there are still a significant number of people who are appropriating the Jamaican culture. And the other day I was looking at a comment that someone made as to recognizing how prevalent it has become for content about Jamaica to be shown on different platforms. And many of these contents aren't being curated by Jamaicans or presented by Jamaicans. And I've noticed since my last video that I did about cultural appropriation that some of the content creators have tweaked their content to portray Jamaica in a positive light, for which I appreciate. However, there is still more conversations to be had about the cultural appropriation of Jamaica, and we're going to jump into that conversation now.
The Jam Fam family. Jam Fam, come hang with me, yeah.
Hello, Wagwan. Big up yourself, whether you're there, yard, or you're there abroad. Welcome back to another episode of Life with the Jam Fams. Now, we know that there are many people out there who are ambassadors of Jamaica's culture, and Jamaica has had a profound impact on the culture and transformation of various countries across the globe. And everywhere you go, there are countries that have something that they have garnered from the Jamaica culture that they hold valuable and dear in their society. And people who are constantly wanting to come and experience a bit of Jamaica because of the things that they have heard that are positively portrayed about the country in one way or another. And we have an ambassador of Jamaica who lives in America, and although she has an experience in a society where she could easily deny her roots and her association with Jamaica, has made a lot of effort to actually highlight and showcase Jamaica. And we're going to just hear some of the ways in which she thinks Jamaica is an asset to the world at large.
You know, it seems as though sometimes when we leave the island, people just blossom, and it's like, my God, the number one person in science, Jamaica. The number one person in health and well-being, Jamaican. The number one person working on the next ship going to Mars, Jamaican. And it's like we just become the best at whatever we do. But when we stay, sometimes we don't realize how great we are. And it's like, how can we be here in what I call paradise and feel we cannot respect it more? The country deserves more. The country deserves better from all of us. I always say to people, don't leave and then don't come back. Don't leave and then when you're up there say bad things about Jamaica. Because believe it or not, when you left, you took your greatness with you. And I cannot stand to hear people talk badly about Jamaica, because trust me, when you're living in the United States, then they're calling your country a you know what kind of whole country. Don't tell me you feel good about that, and don't tell me you think that that's the truth, because it's not the truth. So I say, give us vision lest we fail, because anywhere I go in the world and you say you're from Jamaica, oh my God, they love you.
Jamaicans are happy to share their culture and vibrancy with others across the world. They are either so confident about the value that they provide the world, or so clueless of the disservice appropriation of their culture causes, or somewhere along this spectrum. Today, we hope to unpack this conundrum. Before we go further in the conversation, let's just highlight some words and what they mean so that we are all on the same page as we have this conversation. Now, the first one we're going to look at is appropriation. And appropriation is the act of taking something for one's own use, typically without the owner's permission. Now, appreciation is recognition and enjoyment of good qualities of someone or something. Now, misrepresentation, which often happens with Jamaica as the culture is being appropriated. This misrepresentation is the action or offense of giving a false or misleading account of the nature of something. Lastly, we're going to look at the word denigration. And denigration is the act of criticizing unfairly, regarding or representing as being of little worth. Now, when Jamaica is being treated in this way, Jamaica is such a commodity that people travel from far and wide just to come to Jamaica to have a little piece of it. Whether they are coming here for the music, the ocean, the landscape, the food, the women, the men, the nightlife and business possibilities, or the healing that the land seems to offer so many. When they do any of the negative aspect of these, so whether they are denigrating the culture or they are misrepresenting or appropriating, it is not to our advantage, and it is unfair that people would go through this length just to profit off of the back of a nation, when in essence what we should be doing is celebrating the accomplishment and achievement of Jamaica, because after all, we're just a small island in the Caribbean and yet has such profound impact on the world at large, because as we often say here on the island, we're little but we talawa. Now, recognizing that also gives us the notion of recognizing that it is our duty as Jamaicans to ensure that we're defending the dignity and the integrity of our country when people are trying to misrepresent it and denigrate it. Because after all, the country is part of our history and part of our legacy as well. Now, here is a clip of Sheryl Lee Ralph's take on the matter.
One of the things people always ask me, well, how does being Jamaican improve your life, make your life better? It always has, because I've always had my culture. I've always known who I was. When they'd have those culture days or, you know, your history days in the States, I always had my ackee and saltfish. I always had my bandana outfit, my skirt and my blouse. I always had my song to sing, you know. It made such a difference for me. And I remember my mother drilling in my head the prayer, which for me is the national anthem. And it was like, I can see me as a child. Eternal Father, bless our land. Guide us with thy mighty hand. Keep us free from evil powers. Oh my God, the words are just amazing, you know? But the older I get, there's one part that always stands out for me, and that is give us vision, lest we perish. I've been on top of mountains. You say, Jamaica, they love you. But do we really love ourselves? Do we really? And we're so wonderful. Oh my God, our music, our dance, our arts in general, the way we speak, the way we present ourselves, we have such energy. I know I'm the Energizer Bunny. You know, I'm going to keep on going. You know, it's like we're just so magnificent, but we can't really see it. We don't really value it. And I hate that we don't value the arts.
Yet, in the mix of all these, there are those who seek to exploit Jamaica and Jamaicans for their personal gain. And this is not a new concept. It is something that has been happening for centuries. And it is about time that as Jamaicans, we take a stance to ensuring that people recognize that we recognize what they're doing and that we find it to be unacceptable and they need to put a stop to it. There are several things about Jamaica that is just awe-inspiring and that puts a smile on your face when you hear it or see it. And there is just something about it that is so tantalizing to the people. However, because of these benefits, there are oftentimes scenarios where exploitation becomes a norm. Some of the areas where you see this happening is where you see people trying to imitate the accents, or where you see videos in ghettos in Jamaica, or where people are using reggae rhythm or collaboration with musicians, or where you see people making and selling Jamaican collectibles. Simply, they are just exploiting Jamaica for profit. There are just many people who seek to appropriate Jamaican culture in every opportunity that they get. Many Jamaicans seem to feel that it is simply these people's love of our culture. However, associating with the culture only for profitable gains is exploitation and appropriation. This is especially so when none of that money goes back into Jamaican communities or into the Jamaican economy. Now, as long as there is a demand for Jamaica in the marketplace, there are going to be people who are going to be supplying and meeting these needs. And therefore, this is not something that is necessarily going to be getting less over time. And so it is important that we recognize when people are appreciating or appropriating our culture and ensure that they are representing Jamaica in the best light possible to maintain the reputation of our brand, Jamaica. What do you think about the appropriation of the Jamaican culture? Let us know in the comments down below. I have been under the weather. So last week I had a sore throat. It started off as, and then I had the coughing and
she gave it to me.
Still have it a little bit, and I'm wondering, did I give it to her or did she give it to me? But hers started this weekend with the sniffling and the not feeling so well. And so it was thinking, yesterday when I saw her, I was like, wonder if she should go to school this morning. So we had the conversation. She was like, I'm going. I was just like, she pushing through and going. And she did go. Did you say you fell asleep at one point?
The paracetamol made me drowsy.
Okay, so she took some medication and head out this morning, and it made her drowsy in one of her lessons. So my little princess is a bit under the weather. You know, no matter how old them be, them always are gonna be a baby. And she's big teenager now, but when they're sick or they don't feel well, you still feel the same way, not true? Because at the end of the day, you must still your baby as adult as them be. Me a big adult, and my mother still refer to me like our baby. So me get the understanding of it, especially now that I am a parent myself. I understand why, you know, no matter how grown up you be, them still treat you like you are their little baby with certain things. Like as soon as you say something, if me say this, my father is over there, and I was saying when he came and I was well, and he was telling me all the different things I need to do so that I can get better, because no matter how old you be, you're still their baby. So we're going to see how we can take care of somebody here. Our eyes still looking a little bit weak. We will work on how we can get her back to her usual healthy, bubbly self again.
That exists?
Yeah, I thought so. Your usual healthy, bubbly self.
My usual healthy self.
Your usual healthy, British, sarcastic self. We'll work on it, yeah? So, was it a tough day for you today at school?
Because I brought all of my books, and because we had to have 2 meetings. So first it was just my year group, and then we left to like have a break, and then we had 1 lesson, and then we had to go back in with the entire school.
Okay,
and
so that was a fair, wasn't it? You had a career fair.
And I brought all of my books. And I had to walk around with that.
And feeling weak at the same time.
And every time I fell asleep in the last meeting, either somebody's poking me in my back to tell me to wake up because the teacher told me to, or a teacher is coming to shout something.
To see what's wrong? Why are you doing that?
To shout something.
Oh gosh.
Because it was a fire drill that we were trying to...
Oh, the second one.
But it was a guest speaker speaking, but he went off topic, very far off topic. So he's not even talking about fire anymore.
Okay. Okay, and the fact that you weren't feeling well just aided the process, not true? When you're feeling a little bit bored and then you're not well as well, you just feel like, okay, let me go get a nap. But hopefully you feel a lot better in the morning to take on the journey again.
I'm okay. I can stay home.
Okay, I'm sure you would like to.
Thank you.
And we'll see how you feel.
We will see if I'll feel the same way.
You think so?
I know so.
Okay, we'll try and medicate you and then see where we go. So we'll see how we can go get you some nourishing now and then see how you feel by the morning. Okay, fair?
Yeah.
I went outside to harvest some gungo because I wanted to get some whilst it was still green. Didn't get a lot, just this amount, which I could use to make some rice with these lovely colorful beans. And I get these as well, so I could either make some soup or some rice with them. So I'll decide on that. But the exciting thing about it is that I'd had a piece of sweet potato vine that I got from a friend, and I wanted to see if I can get it to catch. And guess what? I had my first one. I was so excited about it because it's the very, very first one that I've got. There are some other bits, but the vine is just, it's spreading. So that one I just cut the tip off that was on it and cut off the shoot that was on it. And now we've got 2 more seedlings that we were able to plant, and got the other vine that we're now going to be watching to see if it puts down root and tuber so we can get some more sweet potato. But this is the first one, my very first one. I'm so excited about it. So I thought I'd share it with you guys.
The Jamaican family. Where I living the good life. We're royal, cruising through the West Indies, having fun, enjoying the good life. Jam Fam family, the Jam Fam family, yeah. The Jam Fam family. Where I living the good life. We're royal, cruising through the West Indies, having fun, enjoying the good life. Jam Fam family, the Jam Fam family, yeah. Jam Fam, come hang with me. The Jam Fam family. Jam Fam, come hang with me. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Thank you so much for staying here with us on this another episode of Life with the Jam Fams. We look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye for now.